Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. My name is Mari Khalid. If you're new, if you're not new, thank you so much for being here. Disclaimer, my hair, this is a new hairstyle. This was originally curled and this was also like up in a bang. I did like a photo shoot that you guys will learn more about later on. And I'm trying to see if I can maintain this hairstyle for a couple of days without putting like a lot of heat on my hair. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna flexi rod my two bangs and probably the ponytail as well. But this is very new for me, so excuse the hair. But today I want to talk to you guys about 5 things that I wish I knew when I first started my fitness journey. These are not in any particular order, and these are all things that I have learned over the years. One, just as someone who's into fitness, but also as a personal trainer. These are things that I've seen help my clients, like telling them about these things and things that I have obviously learned throughout my entire fitness journey. So we're just going to get right into the video. If you don't know, I am a personal trainer, so I have clients that I train in person. I'm also an online coach, so I have virtual clients as well. So I will say I'm very well versed in this topic, and I have been strength training for 6 years at this point, so I've learned a lot. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that, or the first thing that I have learned, or one of the things I want to talk about that I've learned, is how nutrition is personal and not universal. So when you first start your journey, whether it's to gain weight or to lose weight, usually nutrition plays a huge role into that. So you may try a lot of fad diets, you may try to fast, you may try to up your protein intake. Whatever it is, most people, especially myself, will try a lot of diets, especially now with social media. When I first started, social media wasn't as big as it is now when it comes to like influencers and just having like a plethora of information. So now it's a lot different where you have so many people who are like myself, who are fitness influencers, who are trainers, coaches, or people who just are nutritionists or dietitians who share information on social media. And so there's so much information about what you should or shouldn't eat. And I literally just had this conversation with a client a couple weeks ago. Your nutrition is not based on what other people are doing. It's really based on yourself and your body. Believe me when I say everyone's body is so different, and you have to tailor everything to your lifestyle, to your routines, to your body type, to your goals. It's not what somebody else is doing or have done that will automatically work for you. So for example, like dairy. A lot of people may say cut out dairy for whatever reason. For me, dairy does not bother me. Like, it does not cause me to break out. It does not cause me to, I don't get inflamed when it comes to my gut health. Now, I don't eat a whole lot of dairy, but I do eat cheese. I drink almond milk for the most part, dairy-free creamers. But like, people may say like, oh, like if you want to lose weight, cut out dairy. I wouldn't say that. I would say that if dairy affects you, if you know that when you eat cheese or sour cream or whatever, it causes you to break out, okay, yeah, maybe you shouldn't eat dairy. There's like this new thing called the carnivore diet. Now that may work for certain people body types because some people may be fine with only eating meat. But for the average person, no, you need carbohydrates, you need healthy fats, like you need generally there are like guidelines that you used to follow, like making sure you eat enough protein, making sure you eat enough fiber, so you're eating your fruits and vegetables. But like even then, there are some people, like my sister, she's allergic to fresh fruit, like raw fruit, so she literally cannot eat fruit. She has to buy the fruit that are in like the cups that have been, diluted in a lot of syrup or sugar. But like that's really the only way she can eat fruit without it causing her to literally break out, and have other like health complications. So you have to find a nutrition plan that works for you. Like for me, I've said this before, my body does well when I'm like on a low carb, low sugar diet slash like meal plan. So I do better when I eat mostly complex carbs, and even then I try not to eat carbs with every single meal. So like breakfast, I may do like toast or oatmeal, but maybe lunch or dinner, I just eat like vegetables and meat. I don't eat carbs with it. So you have to learn like what works for you when it comes to nutrition. Don't try to do what you see your favorite influencer doing. They may be able to eat carbs with every single meal and they still look and feel great, but for you it might make you feel extra groggy, or you may like not reach whatever your fitness goals are. So just know that nutrition is personal, it's not universal. It's okay to take tips from people and try them, but you have to figure out what works for your body, not what works for someone else's body. Okay, number two. So, especially for us women, we need to understand, and this is one of the first things that I learned, it takes a lot of effort to get bulky. Like, especially like my clients, most all of my clients are female clients right now. I have had male clients. And the number one thing that women say is that they don't want to get buff or bulky. And I always have to break it down to them like, girl, it will take a lot of effort for you to actually build a whole lot of muscle, because if that's the case, I would be a bodybuilder because I strength train literally 5 days a week. So when it comes to getting bulky, the thing about it, women do not produce as much testosterone. I always pronounce that word wrong. I'm gonna just say test. Just know that there's a hormone and it's testosterone. Women do not have as much. We don't produce as much as men. That's why men can go to the gym in like a couple of weeks and they will see results really fast. But women, it takes a lot of effort for us to really see results because we have these hormones that are working against us. We have to really learn our bodies and figure out how our body responds to certain levels of stress, because we also have cortisol, which is a stress hormone. We have estrogen. We have all, and men do too, but women and men have different amounts of what we produce when it comes to different hormones. But let's get back to testosterone. So we don't produce as much, which affects our mood. It affects our bone density. It affects our muscle mass, all the things. And so because we don't produce as much, it is harder for our muscles to maintain the density and be able to build and have a lot of mass. So when women say, oh, I don't want to get bulky, babe, it's going to take a lot of protein, a lot of strength training. Like you have to do like full blown like hypertrophy training in order for you to really like gain and keep your muscle. That's why like if you stop weight training, you will start to lose muscle mass really fast as a woman. So you just have to know that, and you have to know your body. But I will say that everyone lose and gains weight in certain areas versus what other people do. So like for me, I lose weight first like in my upper body and like my arms, my chest. So I look more bulky up here versus in my lower body. I tend to hold on to fat more in my hips, in my behind, my legs, and in my like lower abdomen area. So I know that like when it comes to strength training, of course, I definitely want to be strong, and I don't care to have a little bit of like muscle definition in my upper body, but I know like where to stop it, because I know that that is where I will start to see more definition versus my lower body. So yes, you do want to learn your body and know like where you tend to lose or gain fat in certain areas. But when it comes to being bulky, it takes a lot of work to really gain a lot of muscle for women. This is specifically for women. So just know that if you go lift weights in a gym, you're not going to be Mrs. Hulk in 2 weeks. It will take a whole lot of effort and protein and strength training for you to really, you know, gain that muscle mass. And so that's why when you see women who are like really strong, like you can look at them and tell that they're really strong and they're really like in the gym, you commend them and you're happy for them and you're proud of them, because you know that they had to put in a lot of work for it. So when you see women who are bodybuilders, don't just turn your nose up towards them like, oh, like why would she want to do that? Everyone has their own separate goals, but you should also commend them because you know that they have to be super disciplined and consistent and on a very strict regimen for them to look how they look. So just know that it takes a lot of effort to get bulky. You're not going to get super big really fast when you start to lift weights in the gym. So just know that. Number 3, You do not need to do 10 plus exercises in one workout in order for you to reach results. That is something that I learned really quickly as well. When I first started my fitness journey, I'm pretty sure I was doing a whole lot of exercises. But I will say that I was really good about doing research, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't just like nothing crazy. But when I became a personal trainer, I really learned that because that was like, one of the things that we had to learn how to program for yourself and for clients. And for myself, I don't do more than like 6 exercises. My programs that I have on my website, your workouts are not going to be more than 6 exercises. My clients that I have online and in person, we don't do more than 6 strength training exercises. Now, we may do like a core circuit or a cardio circuit, but when it comes to strength training, you do not need to do 10 plus exercises in order to reach results in one workout. What you do need to do is making sure that you hit every muscle group every week. So that just depends on whatever your preferred split is, how many days you want to go to the gym. If you do a 3-day split, 2-day split, whatever, you do want to make sure that you hit every muscle group. And there's another thing to where you hit every like movement. So every week you do a push day. So you're pushing. So you're doing like chest press. You're using your pecs, your triceps, or your shoulders. Those are all like pushing movements where you're out here. But then also you want to make sure you're doing some pulling movements. So you're using more of your biceps and your back. And then you have your legs, so you want to split your leg days. You want to do some lunges. You want to make sure that you're squatting every week. And you want to make sure that you are doing like a hip hinge every week. So those are like the 5 key movements. I'll put that on the screen. But other than that, you don't need to do like a whole plethora of exercises for a specific like muscle group unless you have specific goals regarding like, oh, I want to build my hamstrings. Okay, maybe you train your hamstrings twice a week, but that don't mean you have to do 10 hamstring exercises. So just know that you don't need to do a whole bunch of exercises. Research says that minimum you only need 4 to 6. For beginners, you may only need 2 or 3 exercises per workout. It does depend on your fitness level and your experience. So for people who have been training for years, they may do up to 8 exercises that are strength training in one workout. But when it comes to just the average person, you don't need more than 5 to 6 strength training exercises in one workout. Now, it's okay, like I said, if you want to do like some core exercises, some cardio, you want to like, diversify your workout. But when it comes to strength training specifically, you don't need to do 10 strength training exercises in one workout. I'm just using 10 as a number, like a basic standard number, but I would say you don't need to do more than like 6 per workout. And this is strength training that we're talking about. Strength training specifically. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about that I've learned as a personal trainer and as a woman who lifts weights is that consistency matters more than intensity. A lot of times people think that, oh, they do one super intense workout in a week and that's all they need to reach whatever their goals are. Or maybe they do 2 intense workouts for the week, but that's all the exercise that they do for the week. When it comes to being an overall healthy individual or just overall trying to reach some type of fitness goal, you need to be moving your body every single day. So whether you go on walks every day, whether you do a 10 to 15 minute workout every day, or let's just say for some reason you don't want to you should be moving your body, whether you're doing stuff around the house, you're going to and from work, you should be moving your body every single day. I don't think there's really anybody who just lays in the bed completely the entire day. But when it comes to like working out, you need to set a routine for yourself where you're consistently training and moving your body weekly. So whether that's 3 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. But when you think about it, like we should be walking, stretching, and just doing different things with our body on a daily basis. And that's what will help you to be a healthier person overall. Not just saying, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym and that's it twice a week. After that, I don't care about my step goal. I don't care about moving my body. I don't care about stretching. I don't care about anything else. I just know I'm gonna hit the gym and do two hour sessions per week, and that's all I need. No. So Focus on consistency. Have a routine for yourself. You need to be consistently moving your body on a daily basis, like I said. So, like I said, you can do walks on a daily basis. Maybe you have a step goal that you reach every day. But just know that if you want to be a well-rounded, healthy individual, there needs to be daily movement. And let's just throw out daily and let's just say weekly movement, okay? And let's say 5 days a week, you make sure that you do a 15 to 20-minute walk. Like I said, this tip is more so for people who are really wanting to be a well-rounded fitness person. You want to just practice health, overall, and not just trying to reach some specific fitness goal or physique goal. You really just care about your health and, becoming a better person. You want to make sure that you are consistently moving your body on a daily basis and not just when you feel like it. For me, when I really started incorporating walking more throughout my days, throughout my weeks, I really started to see a difference in my mental health and just my body composition. I really started to just shed fat because I was just moving my body on a daily basis. I was being intentional with my movement. So that's where I am now in my fitness journey. I do my best to go on walks daily and I move my body daily. I try to do at least 30 minutes of movement every single day. Like I said, even if it's just a 30-minute walk and I split it up, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, or break it up into 10 minutes. Whatever I got to do to just hit my step goal or just burn some extra calories, I'm going to do it. So focus on being consistent with fitness and not just intense. It's okay, of course, to definitely intensify your workout, make it more challenging for you, but still make sure that you are focused on being consistent with moving your body on a daily basis. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about that I learned in my fitness journey is that it is normal to hit plateaus. So a plateau is when you kind of hit a peak in anything in life, whether it's your weight loss, whether it's, any type of goal that you have, but specifically we're talking about fitness. So it is normal for you to hit plateaus in your fitness because if you're being consistent and you are following a plan and a routine, your body will get adjusted to it. Your body will adapt. It's, a universal law. Your body adapts to the stress that you put on it. And so you will hit a plateau and you will hit a peak. And that's okay. That is normal. A lot of times we get discouraged when we're not seeing results, or we get discouraged when we feel bored. But you have to know that that's normal, and, and that it can be changed. Like, you can beat that. And so I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to beat plateaus or get over plateaus, and how to switch up your fitness routine so that you will still see results. So one thing that you can do is increase your volume. So you can start being more intentional with progressive overload, making sure that you're increasing your weight, increasing your repetitions, or increasing your sets. Listen, increasing your set by even one will make a huge difference. Like, most of the time, I think everyone stays in 3 rounds. But listen, 4 rounds is more time consuming, and it's a lot more intense. So maybe you try adding in another set. And when it comes to repetitions, that really depends on what your goal is, because you may want to build muscle, so you may not be able to add in more repetitions because you want to stay in that 6 to 10 range if you're muscle building. But you can also increase your sets, so you may do 4 or 5 sets instead of just 3 rounds of 8 or 10. And of course, as always, you can increase your weight. And then you can also switch up your tempo. So maybe you move slower when you're doing certain exercises, especially for my girls who are glute training. You're trying to build your glutes. Maybe you go a little lower when you do your hip thrust, or you spend more time going low when you're doing your hip thrusts, or you do more pulsing, or you can hold things for 5 to 10 seconds, which is not something that we usually do when you're strength training, but that's a good way to kind of switch up your routine and add a little bit more intensity. Another thing that I love to do is just add something new to the routine. So maybe you add in a fitness class, like a HIIT class, or you just find you a HIIT workout on Pinterest or from your favorite influencer or on YouTube, but add in different ways of exercise. There are so many things you can do when it comes to moving your body and just staying fit and challenging yourself. we have Pilates, we have bar classes, we have cycle classes, we have maybe you start training for a little race like a 5K or a 10K or maybe a half marathon. But there are so many things that you can do to switch up your routine while still strength training that can make it a little bit more fun. You can do like AMRAP, which is as many rounds as possible. So you pick a few exercises, you do the same repetition. So let's say 10, you do 10 squats, 10 deadlifts, 10 push-ups, until 10 barbell rows, and you do those for 10 minutes straight, and you just keep doing it until you hit 10 minutes. You never know how many rounds you can end up doing. So just find different ways to switch up your routine and make it a little bit more fun and challenging for yourself to kind of get over your plateau. Another thing you can do is change your split. So for me, like I said, I strength train 5 days a week. But one thing I like to do is switch up my workout split. So right now, I do a push day, a pull day, which are both upper bodies. I'm doing glutes and hamstrings, and then I'm doing quads and calves, and then I do a full body day. But for my next training period, I want to switch up my routine. So I may do glutes and back together. I may do chest and back together. I may do arms all together. So you can also change up your split and change up your routine. So like your muscles are kind of confused because you're doing something new instead of what you're usually doing. You're not training the same muscle groups together. So that'll definitely help you get over your plateau. Another thing you can do is change up the equipment that you use. So there is so much equipment, and when you use different equipment, you are working different muscles based on what that specific equipment allows your body to do based on range of motion. So like you may use a Smith machine versus a barbell, or vice versa. Smith machine is a little less, like the machine is controlling you more, so you're not using a lot of those core muscles or muscles that will really be used to kind of keep your balance when you're using a squat rack. It's a free weight, so you're having to control it a lot more, and that's a little bit more stress on your body. So you can make that switch going from a Smith machine to a barbell. You use more free weights overall, so you may use medicine balls, you may use dumbbells, you may use kettlebells, you can use bands, you could try using the TRX ropes. There are just so many different ways that you can use equipment and make it a little bit more fun and challenging and help you to get over that plateau. So obviously I want to say make sure you're being safe, you do your research, and you are following different people on social media if you don't have a personal trainer. And that's also another way to get over your plateau, is to find your personal trainer who can help you switch up your routine and make it a little bit more challenging for you to help you get over that plateau. But you can also find people on social media that you look up to and that you trust, that you can get a little bit more tips and tricks on how to use certain equipment. So I hope you guys got some tips from this video and you got a little bit more about me and my fitness journey and some things that I've learned over the years. I may do a part 2 to this because I've learned a lot as a personal trainer and just as someone who loves fitness and health. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you comment and let me know. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in my next video.